Hey, what's up, y'all? Early in the AM. Early in the AM. I was thinking about something. Something heavy popped in my head. Something heavy popped in my head. Um, it wasn't destructive. It wasn't what they call a bad visual, internal visual. Um, it was what it is. That make any sense? It was literally what it was. Imagine Imagine me taking you up on high and you see this oblong, or well, let's just say you see this round ball. You see round ball. And the round ball have a line in the middle, you see. But its circumference is whole, but it has a line in the middle of there. You have a left side and a right side, you see. But both of these bodies are alive, but the inside of this circumference, you see. I was thinking, what is transgress? What do transgress means? Or what is, how do you measure one's behavior? How do you measure one's behavior? And how do you teach teach someone to have good behavior? Where did this thing come from to where you have to teach somebody morals, dignity, and good behavior? But at the same time, you present the opposite on your television, in your schools, in your higher learning centers, you see, on Capitol Hill, you see, even in the law offices, you see, the esquires, you see, all these beings, the body is dealing with a left side and a right side. And so they battle inside of that circumference. Inside of that circumference is called sin. What side are you going to be on? What side are you going to be on? You can't say I'm going to be in the middle, you see, because the middle is actually like a small little mountain. And right at the peak of that mountain, there's an eyeball, you see. I'm just messing with you. Oops. But anyway, right in that center right there, or close to the center, you see. It's forbidding for you. It's not forbidding for you to obtain it. It's forbidding for you. Or you can't use it without your capsule, basically. You can't use it without your vessel, you see. That's just like people trying to find the higher source. It's the same thing. You see, no matter how far you go out, you can't catch up to something that's moving with you. You see, you can't, matter of fact, there's nothing inside of you to create a disruption or something, some type of disruption or something that's different from everything else in that space and time. however it may be, whatever you're seeing in it that exists, and you create something that's totally different to obstruct everything that's out there that's natural. When I'm talking about natural, I'm talking about something that was created way beyond your existence, you see, and it's still thriving here today. But to obstruct something, that's just like you take some milk and you know the milk is white, and then you just drop just a little drip of dye in there. You're going to obstruct everything, all the components inside of that white, you see, and you're going to either turn it a faded looking white, a dull looking white, pale looking white, whatever, but the color won't be the same anymore, you see. That's what they're trying to do in space, trying to create some type of disruption or interference. But you are a nano, or you're smaller than a nano when you leave this realm. Even outside the waters, you're still, you see, you don't exist. You are in someone else's mind, looking through someone else's eye, and feeding off of its imagination, its left and right. You see, it's opposites. You're feeding off of these opposites. Now, inside of that thing, that circumference, you see, write the word sin. Write the word sin. Sin is S-I-N. Transgression. That's a 19. That's a 9. And then you have a 5th. That 199 reads A-I-R. You see, A-I-R. That's what that reads, air. And then you have the 5th right there. You see, you have the 5th. So since you have the 5th, you'll put a dot to the left, a dot at the top, a dot to the left, a dot to the right, a dot to the bottom right, a dot to the bottom right. See, you creating how you look. A head, 2 arms, and 2 legs. So, where is the torso? Or you don't want to think about the torso, because from it emits the torus. So you don't want to think about the torso, you see. You want to leave it alone. Or inside of sin, you can ingest certain things to kill that energy from the torus, from your torso, you see. Circumference, a line, 2 bodies, or 2 energies, or let's just say a brain. And then write the word sin right there. How do you create good behavior under sinful overseers? What is it? How do you not create? So we look down into the holy text, the holy text. So we look down into the holy text, and it tells us everything we're supposed to do under someone else. Even though we will have enemies on the outside of what was written. We will have enemies that's going to fight us, you see, because of that. I'm talking about whoever reads the text as it is, we're gonna, well, no, you can't fight, because I think the text told you not to fight. It told you to lay down. I think it tells you to lay down, you see, because the energy is more important. How creepy is that? The energy is more important than the flesh. So the flesh was only given to fertilize the earth. You see, to fertilize the earth. You see, how many survivors? I mean, how many ants survived? How old is the earth compared to the other planets, or to its siblings? How is something that's so powerful and strong the third rock from this power? And then you have mega bodies, siblings. Well, if they were in front, everything would freeze. All the small planets would freeze, right? So it's a lens that we're under. We're under a lens, a magnified lens. We're under a lens. That's where we get our heat from, our measured heat. That's where we get all these things from. We're under a lens, you see. We're under a lens. But when you're talking about the transgressions, what is transgressions? Who's going to punish you in the spirit when it comes to transgressions? Whose law? You have a law you have laws that's inside the text, and then you have laws from those who oversee everything about your life. There's laws and regulations and statutes and all these other type things. And crooked wordplay or cursed wordplay, you see, that will trick you up, that will force you to create these sins. You know, like the word license to drive, you see. That whole license to drive, that's a sin within itself. That's you need a license. What do license mean? I mean, why do you need a license? You see, why do you, because man created it. It's a simple understanding. Because man created this. Man created the vehicle. He created the asphalt to drive on there. You see, since it's his, he can tax it. You see, he can tax it. Anything that's his, he can tax it, right? And create laws to where he won't have to tax it. You see. So if he owns the asphalt and owns anything that it created, where are you putting the asphalt at? So you're putting the asphalt on land. So whose land is it, and who did? So okay. So since they conquered the land and took it from the indigenous, you see, they're still living. I'm talking about the Ab, you see, indigenous. And so they took the land, and now it's theirs. They say it's theirs. So they can tax the land too. Even if it's a tree. But if it was planted, by somebody and they wrote it down and they recorded the planting, however it may be. Will that tree be that person's? Because even if it's on his property, why are you in my tree? Who told you to cut down my tree? This tree is on my property. That's my, you see. But you're paying somebody to be still there. You're paying somebody to live there. But you say that it's yours. How does that work? How do you live in a house of confusion and then have laws in the book and laws on the outside? Well, both of them are outside. You just have to read one here to make you docile and then understand, you see, the Latin vernacular, you see, and the curses within the words, you see, so you can trade in your articulation. You see, because that's what you're doing. You're trading words. Who have the best words, you see. See, the words become flesh. All words become flesh. But they said the words in the Bible are only flesh. No. If you are disciplined and if you have some type of obedience in something, whatever you're doing or whatever you're teaching, you see, wherever it's coming out your mouth, you see, you making it manifest, you know, into other spirits, into other things. Lord have mercy. Everything that you do, it's like everything that you do, someone is going to pick it up to see if it has room for just a little spike of transgression in it. Because they know that transgression is going to disrupt the natural components. Anything, you see, no matter what it is, if they touch it, it's going to become sin. You see, it's going to become sin. And then when it becomes sin, they put their laws on it, their name or their brand on this sin. And then hand it to the next generation through the parents. You see? Or they'll make it to where you don't have no choice but to use this newly created sin, this newly created transgression. And then you suffer because you feeling something that's so precious, that's beyond man, and you wondering where it is. So you're suffering. Unless, well, you don't really, like people say out here, you don't have to suffer. All that you got to do is follow the law. Just follow the laws. But then over here, they say, what laws? God's laws? And then the person's like, nah, nigga, the laws outside, you just do the right thing. Just do what you're supposed to do out here in the world. You see? But then they fight. See, they inside that circumference. They fighting. No, right here it says this. It says this. It says this. They will talk about the laws that's inside of the text, and they will break it down. They will tell you everything about these laws. But soon as they close the book and go home to their rest, everything about their being, they breaking the law. And they don't know it. They don't know it. If you're creating something. So how could you be blamed for something how could you be blamed for sin inside of sin? You're born in sin, but if you don't be a participant in these transgressions, you have to be obedient, disciplined. You see, you have to be phony. You know, you have to be fake. You see, while you're developing in your transgressions. You see, now you can hold on to your integrity, you can hold on to your morals, you see, because your integrity and morals will hide your transgressions that someone else that's over you bestowed upon you, and you have no choice. But the thing that you hold on to is integrity and morals, and you know it inside of your head, and you know that it's wrong. You see how they force you to transgress? So when you're looking out here in the world, you see, when you're looking out here in the world for somebody, you see, that held on to the God mind and the God body, when you're looking for somebody, there's no one around. You can't find nobody. You can't find, only thing you find in people, mental problem, insanity. You see, they have these psycho words to give you. But so since you won't find nobody, so that means you have to reset. You have to reset. You have to dismantle your last project and then recreate it as time goes on. So that's what they're doing right now. You will be angry in this era, but your children and their newborns will enter it as law. They will enter this new body of transgressions that the overseers created. You see, they will be in it. So, what is a sinner inside of sin? Who is a sinner inside of a house of sin? I'm born in a house of sin. Everything around me is sin. And then there are those on the outside of me. They say, if you do this, you a sinner. So if I do that, that means I'm an American. If I do this, that means I'm an American. That means I'm an African. That means I exist, right? Here's sin. Here's sin. You're born inside of that circumference. You're born to say you don't know nothing. You coming out innocent. The only thing you have when your mother pushed you out the womb, you see, push out what your father grew inside of your mother. You see, when you have that process, you're brand new. This is the Most High's creation, unless it was created in an incubator. You see, so you really don't know who the incubator babies was and how they probably some of them made it, and then they had children, and then they're living today. You see, but inside of this sin, what how many minutes do I have? Inside of this transgression, a child was born. A child was born inside of this, of sin. So, to the people around him, he's like us. He is sin. Now I can go out now while he will be walking, he will see negatives, he will see positives. You see, if the majority is negative and this positive is coming up talking stuff, that means the positive is erratic. So it will have to be dismantled. You see, because it's messing up the system. You know, our system is cool. Our transgressions are cool. They're even. They're balanced. There's discipline. There's obedience inside of this sin. You see, can you imagine being a pedophile and you have obedience and discipline in the things that you do? You see, but if you move him over here and don't give him his tools, he won't have obedience and discipline no more. He won't have it because what is he gonna what is he gonna use? So he will have to go into himself and meet the orchestrator of discipline and the orchestrator of, obedience. You see, the internal written law. You see, you would have to program yourself in the living. Program yourself good and bad. With 2 posts, program yourself, talk out everything that you see, everything that you experience, talk about it, get on camera and just talk to yourself. Fuck what people say. Talk to yourself, record yourself, because they recording robot. They giving all this shit. They developing something. Listen, I know what they're developing, but I'll just say robot. But anyway, but they're developing something. So they really don't give a fuck on what you do and how you do it. Long as you get the data. Long as you get the data. You see, they're trying to match the brain because they know somebody knows something. You see, you don't say they know, or people know something. You see what I'm saying? So they're trying to develop it so they can counteract certain elements out here that's like, but anyway, I'm just saying, inside of this body, you see, inside of this body called transgressions, you were born in it. So therefore, you don't know nothing about you sinning. Nothing. Until somebody tell you that you're sinning. And then when you're sinning, you got to lower yourself to another level. And you don't even know that the body that you're in, or that the body that you're living in, or living around, the whole, whatever, the mind, who said they own the continent. You see, this is sin. You see, so you're born inside of this sin. You see, you don't know nothing about no sin. You a carefree child. You doing everything, but your parents have to give you this. Your parents have to tell you what it is. And then you have to learn, and it halts your process of that joyful childlike feeling. So therefore, here you go. Now you're in their institutions. Now you learn from how they learn, or how they want you to learn. You see, so you can be sufficient in trading and commerce. You see, so they can stay where they at in power. You see, because the ants doing the work. You see, our giant ants are doing the work. You see, can you imagine these little bitty atoms? You see, telling these giant big ass planets on what to do and how to do it. You see, because the giants can't get inside of the crevices. You see, only the smallest particle can reach inside of the temple. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Now everything I just said in this probably 27 minutes, everything I just said inside of here is, you can open it up from the beginning to the end. You can open everything up. You see, that's what I do. I give you this and you open the motherfucking shit up. Since you went to their schools and you had their education and you had this and you had that, so you go open these things up. You see, and then you will see that before me there was people on the planet who talks about this stuff. You see, when you open it up, you will see what I'm saying. You see, I'm just talking to you. Love you.